All right, now as we continue to build the foundation of practical investigative reports, I want to share with you the 6 things that I've learned over the last 35 years of working police and coroner investigations of what the 6 characteristics of an effective final narrative, a final investigative report are. There are 6 things about your report that you have to stick to make it an effective effective report, and a report that can be used as we talked about the 5 practical uses. Number 1, it has to be factual. Objective and relevant accounting of observed facts, period. Your opinion cannot be in your report. Your opinion can be in your notes. Your opinion can be in your investigative notes as you work the case. But in the actual final narrative, it must be factual. So everything you put in your report must be based upon observable facts, provable facts, what you've seen, what you did, and the actions that you took. That is the only thing that can be in your final report. So factual is number 1. Number 2, accurate. An honest, careful, and precise accounting of all relevant facts. Now you might say, of course it has to be accurate, but let me tell you what, sometimes accuracy is flubbed on purpose, and sometimes by accident. So sometimes people do not have an accurate report because they're trying to slant the investigation one way or the other. But sometimes, because they don't really do a good report and they don't do a careful and precise accounting of all relevant facts, then it's not accurate. They sometimes leave things out by accident. On purpose or by accident. Either way, it's not accurate. So it must be factual, it must be accurate. Number 3, your report must be clear. It has to be understood by other people. You have to be able to write your report in such a way that what you're trying to convey, the facts that you are accounting, are clear and understandable. Which brings us to number 4, which is concise. Now, we're going to talk later on in this course about brevity, about shortening sentences, about just reporting the facts and not being too wordy. However, don't let brevity be the enemy of accuracy. Okay, you don't want wordiness, you don't want words just to have words. You don't want us to say 13 words that you can say in 2 just to make yourself sound smarter. But it has to be concise. So if you have to use a lot more words and a lot more explanation to make it concise, then do so. Or to make it accurate, then do so. But be as concise as possible. Number 5, complete. It should contain all facts and actions regardless of your opinion. I mentioned that a while ago in factual. But number 5 is complete. If you have a suspect that you ended up not arresting, but you did talk to him and you brought him in, or you have something that someone had told you about a death, and you have worked the investigative lead on it, that needs to be in your report. You don't want to leave things out that's going to make it look like it's inaccurate. It's certainly not going to be concise, and it's not going to be complete if you leave facts out. Your investigation is your investigation, and if you ended up talking to 3 people until you finally solved one, or you talked to 2 other people before you finally got the medical records or history that you needed, whatever it is, make sure your report is complete. And then with that comes number 5, timely. Now, throughout the years, I've had issues of good reports and bad reports, and sometimes timely reports can be a real struggle, especially when you have a lot of cases and a lot of things working at one time. Timely reports can be a problem. So you should get your final narrative report done as soon after your investigation as possible. Now, sometimes investigations go on for several days or even weeks. Well, don't wait weeks to write your first narrative. So let's just say, for an example, you have a death case and you're at the scene and you do certain things at the scene. Go ahead and start your report. Write your narrative based upon what you did in the first few hours of your investigation. You can then go back and add supplements or addendums or whatever they're called in your situation to document and record other things that you did. An investigation, again, might take weeks, and you might have multiple supplements or multiple addendums, but at least they're done in chronological order as you've completed that part of the investigation. It is much better to do that than to wait weeks, may sometimes even months, before the investigation is actually complete. So let's go over the 6 characteristics of an effective report. 1, it must be factual. 2, it has to be accurate. 3, it has to be clear. And it has to be concise. Number 5, complete. And number 6, timely. And if you will put these 6 characteristics in every investigation that you do where it concerns your final narrative, your final report, you will have an effective report that can withstand the practical importance that we talked about earlier. This has to be the way your report and your investigations are done.